Oh yes, here we are back with another episode of On the Bench with Beeks. This is number 22 coming at you once again from the Dawg Bowl 10. I am your host who likes to boast, Cody Beekman. I'm always joined by Daniel Meaty Beatty.
What's up? I'm the skinniest motherfucker here.
Yeah, well, you know what? Today you're meaty, bud. And we've got, last but not least, Keats.
Hello.
And then we got Lacrosse Moormeyer.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And we are so honored to be joined here today by Gabe Gauthier. Gabe, say what's up, buddy.
Beeks, what's up, buddy?
Thank you so much for coming on, man. Thank you so much. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk some hockey, so let's get right into it. Gabe, you have been around the hockey. You've been all around in hockey. So we're gonna take it right from the very start. It's like, can you tell us a little bit how you got into hockey and how you kind of decided to make this like such a big part of your life?
Absolutely, great question. And the cool thing about this is now we can do multiple podcasts, right? So I can come back and talk more because it'll take a while before we get to that Vegas part.
Oh, yeah.
But because one I'm a talker, and two I've had quite the journey. But it's been great. So I grew up in Southern California and played all my youth hockey there, and got to the point where it was either play somewhere else or just follow a certain path. And for me, it was the path that, it was all or nothing. I wanted to play in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
And so then I ended up leaving home at 13 years old. So I was playing Bantam hockey as a 12-year-old. I was playing Bantam AA as a 12-year-old in Southern California.
Wow.
And it was just it was good hockey. It was great hockey. We when I say we, there was a group of guys, group of hockey players that were 84, 85 birth years, and we kind of started that movement of Southern California hockey, where a couple of guys older than us, Noah Clark and Justin Morris and Alex Kim, those guys started a little bit, but then we kind of really took it to a new level, where one of our teams in the Quebec Pee Wee tournament, right? It's the world famous Quebec Pee Wee tournament.
Oh yeah.
And we ended up winning the one of the divisions as a California team, right? And everyone's like, "What the?"
Yeah,
what
you
the
must
hell?
have turned some heads doing that.
Absolutely, right?
Nobody expected that
no
coming
one
out of California, especially Southern.
Right, and that was the thing, is everyone thought, hey, you're surfers, you're skateboarders, and we're like, hell no. One, we don't like the beach, and two, there's no way I'm skateboarding, right? Because then if I get hurt, I can't play hockey. So they didn't realize that we were in it, and so a couple of guys, like Brett Sterling was one of the guys that played with me, and Brian Salcido, and Matt Ford, and we ended up all playing professional hockey, and the reason why is because we ventured out, and at that time it was a necessity, right? We had to leave California. It wasn't a matter of we're being recruited and this sounds nice, we're gonna go there. It was you're going there or you're staying here, and that was that was kind of not really an ultimatum, but it was like, if you wanted to take this path, you had to go and get seen elsewhere. So I ended up going to Berkshire Academy for 1 year, and that's out in Sheffield, Massachusetts, for prep school. Mm-hmm. And then as a freshman, it led the team in points, and so then it was just like, okay, well, what's the next step, right? And then there was this recruiter scout, Roy Henderson, in Vancouver, British Columbia, gave me a call, and he's like, come to this camp. And it was the Global Scouting Camp, and it was in Langley, BC. Are you familiar with that one, or Global Scouting?
Oh yeah, I know Global Scouting.
I know Global Scouting. I'm not from Vancouver, but
okay.
I know Langley, I know Surrey,
yeah.
I know Burnaby, I know what you're talking about.
So I ended up playing with Chilliwack,
oh.
and Roy Henderson ran Global Scouting, and it was out of the Langley Arena, right, the Twin Rinks.
Yep.
And so I go up there, and as a 14-year-old, I'm doing this camp, and they started me off in the Bantam division because of my age, and then they moved me into the midget division, and then they moved me into the junior division. And to be honest, it was a point where they called my parents, and they're like, your son's going to be playing here in Chilliwack, no matter what you say. Like,
He's not coming back.
yeah, he's not going back to prep school. He's not going to go back to California. And the funny thing is when I ended up showing back up to Chilliwack for training camp, Harvey Smeal, the coach, never even saw me play. And it's like I'm already on the team, and the coach is like, I've never seen this kid play, and he's from California.
Who's this Cali guy coming in thinking he can play some hockey?
I wonder if it was like the inverse effect, because when I moved from the Canada to the States, they're like, oh, here's the Canadian on the team. I wonder if it's like, whoa, this guy must be really good if he's from California, or was it
yeah,
the opposite?
It was like you're stealing our spot, you know, and because the thing is they didn't see me play until I ended up playing, and then that kind of stopped them from talking.
Yeah.
It was to be honest, in my first 4 exhibition games, I got jumped, right, and so those were like my first fights. If you want to count them, right, if you're gonna go back in the archives and put them on Drop the Gloves or something, right? I got jumped 4 times as a 15-year-old by these 20-year-old Canadian boys. They're like, you know, get your ass back home to California. This is a man's game.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
This is our turf.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go back surfing.
Yep. This is our turf, and that was so I had to prove my ground, right?
Yeah.
Had to prove it, and that not only physically but putting the points up, and that's what I did, and then it kind of just went from there. So, you know, as you guys are familiar with billeting, I lived with 3 different billet parents, and that was a great experience. And the one family I ended up staying in contact with for quite a bit. But junior hockey experience, you know, for the kids that are listening, it's truly it's a fun time. It really is, and you know, depending where you go and all that, like honestly, every hockey experience is going to be fun. But you know, when you're playing junior hockey and then you're leading into college hockey, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and so exactly, which leads me to my next question. So, how did juniors end up in you deciding to go to Denver University?
So great question, and you know, not a lot of people ask that. It's like, you know, it's kind of this expectation, or some people are so naive. It's like, okay, well, the schools pick for you. It's like, no, man, you get the opportunity to pick and choose, and there were quite a few schools that I had an opportunity to look at, and I narrowed it down to 3 schools or universities. And the first one was Michigan State, second was Boston University,
Okay.
Wow.
and then the third was DU. And so I actually took my visit. I took 3 official visits, right?
Did you go to Michigan State?
I did go to State.
I've played at that arena too.
Yeah. So the cool thing about that visit, right, and this is where I tell people, like, how did you not pick State?
It was
you know?
hard, yeah.
So I was there when they had the first Cold War, so the first outdoor game, and it was Michigan against Michigan State, right? And I remember Mike Camilleri ended up winning the game for Michigan that time, right? And that was what was that, 90? That was 99, 2000, or 2000, 2001, right around there. But yeah, that was my visit. It was going down to Michigan State when they were playing the outdoor game, right?
Oh wow.
I'm like, man, this is sick. Like, it's just awesome. But then you're like, well, they don't get to do this all the time. But still, when they do play, I believe it was Munn Arena was the facility there, and like even that facility was phenomenal. But to be honest, the one thing that kind of deterred me away from Michigan State was the fact that living in Chilliwack, it was such a small town, right? It was about 35,000 people. It's a farm town. You knew everybody, right? And then going to look at State, it's like 75,000 undergrad,
huge, yeah.
right? It's a city in itself.
They
So-
have their own ice cream division of the agricultural department. It's huge, that
right.
place.
And it's just nuts.
Ridiculous.
Like you could have a class here, right, and the other class is over there, and it's a 5-mile drive.
Oh man.
You know?
Jeez.
I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So, plus the other thing too is the coach at the time said we don't play freshmen. so
You're just like, oh yeah, well I'm
right?
done here.
So like, what would you say, right? You're
Yeah.
you're in your interview with the coach, and it's for one of the top schools in the country, and they say, oh yeah, we don't play our freshmen.
Yeah, dropping it.
See you later.
peace, bro. You know?
Yeah.
By the
deuces,
way,
deuces.
have you not known that I've been breaking the age and like
Exactly.
entry barrier my entire career up to this point?
Right.
Like,
So, you know, so it was two things, and I'm just like, you know, it was fun, but let's see what's next. And so I then took my other visit to Boston University, and that one was close. And the reason why is because at the time their assistant coach Mark Bavis was heavily recruiting me, right? And when I say recruiting, it's not like promises and all this stuff. It's basically, we need you. Like this is a spot where we need you, you know, when we want you. So I took my visit there, and I had a buddy in Southern California that was there too, and so I got to visit around with him, and it was neat to be, you know, around Boston, downtown Boston area. But the other thing too is it was a big city, right? And you're walking down the street and all these brick buildings, and they say, well, this building's apartments, and this building's a bank, and this building could be your classes. And I'm like, well, it's not like a university feel, right? It doesn't feel like a university. And then the other thing too is, you know, just the hockey. I didn't see myself being back on the East Coast, right? So then it came down to Denver, and the biggest part was Seth Appert. Seth Appert was our assistant coach, and that guy took recruiting to a whole new level, right? He would call me once a week, and this was before cell phones and pretty much before email and text messages and all this stuff, right?
The push button phones.
Yeah, you have to dial the. That means you have to actually remember phone numbers, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or
Or
carry
you had
on
a
around that
Rolodex.
chunky address book or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or the Rolodex, right?
Yeah.
The Rolodex.
Yeah.
But he would call my billet house once a week, right? Always checking in. It's like, how you doing? How's school? How's the girlfriend? How's the team? You know, all this stuff. And then it became a relationship, right? Where it wasn't player and coach. It was more like best friends, right? And big brother.
Yeah.
And that was cool, because then, you know, stepping into university, whether it being an athlete or just you know, a student, it's an overwhelming experience, because you're coming from a high school, regardless of where you are, right? You're automatically walking into something at least triple the size of what high school was before.
Absolutely.
You know, and then the diversity of people that you're going to be interacting with is completely different. And so that kind of helped with that transition. So I came down here on my visit and got to go around the room, and the cool thing was they showed me in the dressing room, and this was the older dressing room, not the new one now that everyone sees, right?
Yeah.
They're spoiled. It's unbelievable.
the pre-cell
Have you
phone
been able
locker room.
Have you been able to see that yet?
Not in like 20. I think I played at Magnus. I think maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah. So the new dressing room is sick, and like it's awesome.
Oh.
But so I walk in, and they had a jersey hanging, and it was, you know, Gauthier number 9. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool, right? Because then you could visualize putting that on.
Yeah, coming in.
It's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna put this on. You know, I'm gonna play with all these other guys, the top guys in the country. And so that was one part. But the main reason, the main thing was, they said, you know, we want you, we need you, and we're gonna do everything we can to help you succeed, right? And so that was it was a no-brainer. So I chose University of Denver, and 4 years after, it was
I think it did all right.
It was a pretty good choice.
Well, it's got to feel good, I mean, especially with your more of like your past, playing in juniors and stuff, like going up to Canada and having all these, having a lot of these guys, like, oh, this dumb fucking Yank coming in and taking my spot, kind of having like a more like a negative approach to when you're coming into a hockey team. It's got to feel nice to like really have that like backing up. There's that welcoming feeling that we want you guys. We want you to play here. We need you to play here. Please play here. It's got to be
100%.
nice.
Yeah, it was nice, and that was a thing that Seth Appert did such a great job of. Right, is showing that they care, but they also wanted, right? They wanted to have me be a part of that family, to be a part of that culture, and that was a great feeling. Absolutely.
And
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
and you can even be a freshman
And
still
play.
play, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be
You
nice.
can play freshman year, sophomore year. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got to play. That was the thing. We're gonna put. And that was they put me with their 2 top seniors as a freshman, right? So it's
Oh,
like
that's
get
huge.
your feet wet, Rook. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
seriously.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw you into the fire, man. Like that's about. I always thought that was kind of more like the best way to learn, especially playing hockey. You know, playing with guys that are way beyond your either skill level or just not beyond your years. I think that's the best way to really learn from the game of hockey. When you I feel like when you're a younger kid too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And you know what's kind of neat now that you left the Bay. Was it the Bay Area that you were in, or Southern California?
Southern Cal, yeah.
That whole area is now, if not one of the largest adult rec league and youth rec leagues in the country now. So it's pretty cool that that's happened in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's remarkable, and then you're seeing NHL products, right, that are coming from Southern California, from Northern California. But yeah, it's like you said, to see how big it really is right now, it's ridiculous. Like how many, like if the pro, right, for the AHL to move to Southern California, right, that's something big. Like to say that you have 6 professional hockey franchises in your state,
Yeah.
you know, at the highest levels, 3 in the NHL and 3 in the American Hockey, or 4 in the American Hockey League.
Yeah.
This is Stockton, right?
Yep.
Like that's ridiculous.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same. I just did a double take because I was like, no, Colorado has the most microbreweries, and then it was like California. I was like, okay, I'm looking at California all wrong. Like my whole world is getting turned upside down.
They just need to change the leadership there, and it'd be awesome.
So, all right. So moving on. I mean, like you're playing for DU, and then you guys get your you guys win your first national championship. How was the first one? And like how does that take you back? And like how do you just like look back on that and like all the stuff that you went through in that season? Like,
Man, it was a crazy year. There actually could be a book written about it just on that year with all the ups and downs, and I'll try and summarize it as little as possible because, like I said, we could have another segment on this. But it was it was a year of the spirits, and it was, what I mean by that is Cliff Coral and Keith Magnuson were on the Denver team back in '69 when they won the national championship, and they both played for Chicago in the National Hockey League. And they came into our dressing room at the start of the year and talked to us about what their team did in '69, right, to be successful and to be national champions. And we then formed a mission statement based on what they were talking about. Fast forward into midway through the season, like we were towards the bottom of the standings. Like we were not doing good, and it was during Christmas. It was right before Christmas, I believe, or right after Christmas. But Keith Magnuson, unfortunately, was in a fatal car accident in Toronto, and that shook up not only the whole alumni university, but shook us up too, right? Because he was just in our dressing room talking to us, about their season and their championship, and things really turned around from there, where we took being a team and being a family to a whole new level, and like we got in fights in practices, right? And the reason why, it wasn't because we were pissed at each other, it's because we were holding each other accountable for being competitive, right? And making sure you're doing shit the right way.
Yep.
And so then our season turned around, and we ended up winning, right? We beat North Dakota, who was ranked #1, and then we just started pumping and pumping, and we squeaked in to the national tournament, right? So we squeaked into the national tournament, and so we're playing Miami of Ohio first game. And I remember Ryan Caldwell had a beautiful goal. We ended up beating them, I think it was 4-3 or 4-2. It was a close game, right? Then we took on North Dakota. So North Dakota was ranked number 1, right? And we were number 16 because we squeaked right in. And so they won their semifinal. So we're playing North Dakota at World Arena down in CC, right?
Man.
So it's already nuts, right? The place is half North Dakota, it's half Denver, right? It's crazy because North Dakota does have some of the best traveling fans in college hockey, bar none.
Oh,
right?
easily,
like,
yeah.
Easily the best fans. And so we're playing them. Ends up being a 1-0 game. We beat them 1-0. And
Wow.
like it was stupid. Like they were so pissed, right? Because they were ranked 1 all year.
And then the number 16 and comes and just
right.
2 games in a row, too.
2 games in a row, right? And so then now we go to the national championship, okay? So the national championship's in Boston, right? And it's us, Duluth, BC, and Maine. So it's a WCHA Hockey East matchup.
oh man.
Right? And here's the crazy thing. So we're doing the opening ceremonies, and Boston University was actually the host university for the national tournament. So we're there, and their coach, Jack Parker, is giving the opening ceremony speech, and he's going, and by the way, we're at Fenway Park while this is going on. So we're at Fenway Park, we see the Green Monster, and he's talking, Boston talking, and as he wrapped up, he left it as, we have 4 great schools here, but no doubt in my mind, the best conference will come out on top.
Uh-oh.
Right? That's a PR boo-boo, right?
Oh, yeah.
As you all know, you're not going to say that. So obviously, he wanted Hockey East to win, right?
Oh.
So it was crazy, too, because of the matchup. So the semifinals, it was us against Duluth. Okay, it was the first matchup, and then it was Maine against BC. So we end up playing Duluth, and we were down. We ended up coming back. Lucas Dora had an unreal goal, right, to take us through. And then, so we finished that off, finish off Duluth, and we're like, oh man, we're in the national championship. And so we're like, this is crazy. The whole year we never thought,
Yeah.
right? But it was that turning point, right, of Keith's passing that he then basically helped us in spirit, right? Because then in the national championship game, there were so many things that you go back, you watch it, and you're like, that should not have happened, right? Certain things just should not have happened. But for one is, so this was back before they changed the whole crease rule. But
Oh yeah.
Maine actually scored the first goal of the game, but they called it back because of foot in the crease, right? And when you go and watch the video, like, not even kidding you, the plays over there, his toe is in the top part of the crease.
Oh, so it's not even, it's like a
It's
technicality.
a technicality,
That's
right?
ridiculous.
And so now you go back, you're like, how does that even affect it? He didn't even interfere with Burkle. He didn't do anything like that. But it's one little thing. The rules are rules, right? And so we ended up the goal got disallowed.
Yeah.
So then later in, we get a power play, and I score the goal, right? So I get the only goal, and it was a pass from Connor James, and Jimmy Howard was their goalie at the time, and I just got it, shot it, and it went 5-hole, and that ended up being the game winner. So the only goal in the national championship. But we killed off a 6-on-3 with a minute and a half to go in the game.
You were in the
Okay.
penalty box for that too.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah, Beeks.
exactly. You must have been shitting your pants.
Dude, so I'll lead you up to this point. So about 2 minutes ago, Matt Latch gets a hooking penalty, right? And so he's in the box, and so I'm out on the penalty kill. So I don't know if I won or lost it, but anyway, puck gets cleared, and they're coming down. And they go to flip it in, and the guy fans on the flip, right? And I end up catching it, and I go to play it with my hand, and they call me for
Palming it.
closing my hand on the puck, delay a game,
Of course.
right? So I'm like, well, yeah, if you break it down into instant slow motion, yeah, it looks like throwing the puck, right? But anyway, got thrown in the box, and it's just like, oh, man. So it's now 5-on-3 with 1:38, I believe it was, right? Because I knew that I was in the box regardless, okay? I was in the box regardless. They had to either score or we're going in overtime before I got out. And so Matt Latch is sitting there just heads down, and I'm giving him the play-by-play because I'm like, you know what, we got it, right? And there was 2 plays. One, the most distinctive play, was the puck got passed across crease, and Adam Burkle is completely out of the net. Matt Carl puts his stick down, right, and the main player hits the shaft of his stick.
On the come down, right?
On the come down, and the puck gets deflected out of play. Like, when I'm talking about a wide open net, like Beeks, this is a wide open net.
Oh, man.
Okay? And Carl just puts his stick down, and we're like, that was Magnuson, right? That was key.
That would be Magnuson,
Okay?
yeah.
and it was, so that's why it was the year of the Spirits. And so we ended up winning the game because there was about 15 seconds left, and things you're like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? And they sauced a pass across
On
right?
a 6-on-3.
On a 6-on-3, they did a sauce. He sauced it. The guy's on the wing, and he sauces it to the far point. Why would you do that? What happens? The puck bounces out of play, or it bounces out of the zone, and then they couldn't get back, right? But it's like, why would you do that? Magnuson took the puck.
Just hand of God, just get that out of here.
Exactly. So the vibe. So that was a championship. It was unbelievable, and the experience was
Gigantic.
yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Shakespearean, almost.
absolutely. Like, definitely, man.
So then the next year you go back again and you take the NCAA Championship again.
Yeah, we go back to back, and that year actually we had a damn good team. Like, we had some talent. Stastny, was a freshman at the time.
Yeah,
and,
Polly Walnuts.
Polly Walnuts, absolutely. And we just had we had Menino and net, right? And we had a great freshman group that came in, and then the sophomores, right? Matt Carl and Wiedemann and Dingle, like all those guys, we were the team to beat, right? And we were number 1 all year. It was
No Sue story this time.
no Sioux story. No, well, we beat them again, right?
Yeah.
So we beat them twice again. I love it, right? Because us and the Sioux, DU and the Sioux have the biggest rivalry.
Oh, it's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Right, and it's unbelievable. It's awesome. But yeah, we ended up. So we'll just fast forward through the year, and we were playing in the WCHA Final 5, right? And this is at the Excel Energy Center in Minnesota, and we had their number all year. And again, had it again. And so they ended up tying the game late, and we go into overtime. We're out there. I'm out there. I take the face-off, win the face-off. D to D, regroup, boom. I get the puck. I go in. I walk inside the blue. I cut back, go to the center, and just rip a wrister, and it goes over Lamoureux's shoulder, right glove, just, and it was sick. So that was, so we ended up beating North Dakota in the WCHA Final 5, right? So that's the first time. Then we go to the Frozen Four, okay? So Frozen Four, this is another unique thing about it. All 4 teams were from the WCHA, right? All 4 teams were from the same conference. It was unbelievable. It was us, CC, Duluth, and North Dakota.
Wow.
All in the Frozen Four, right? And people go, well, that was rigged. It was rigged. It was not rigged. Like, all of the teams won their division
Separately,
right?
and
Separately
got there.
and got there. It just proved that the WCHA was the top hockey producer.
Take that, Boston
Exactly.
University.
Back to back, and
Man.
not only back to back, but it was the 4th in a row for the WCHA, because the 2 years prior to
Oh.
us, it was Minnesota.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So it was all WCHA. So then now we're playing. Well, first let me just say we pumped CC, because we always got to say that. We pumped CC.
Yeah, take that, CC.
Yeah, 7-1, and then it was a bad one. They had to fly back with us on the plane back from Columbus, right? Because this is the jersey I was wearing.
I bet you that
It-
was an awkward plane ride
It
for
was
them.
100% awkward, right? Because on the way there, we sat in the back of the plane, they sat in the front, right? It's all happy, giggles, blah, blah, blah. And then after we beat North Dakota, 4-1, I think it was. Paulie Walnuts had a couple goals,
Yep.
and then he fed me for the empty netter, right? And it was awesome. So it was back to back, and that was such an awesome experience because, like I said, we knew we had that gut feeling, right? That no matter what game we were going into, like we're either taking this to overtime or we're winning in regulation. Like we just had that confidence, and it wasn't arrogance, right? It wasn't being cocky. It was just confident, right? Because we had a lot of guys that were returning from the previous year, the 04 year. We had a great freshman group coming in, and we had that vision, that mentality from when Keith Magnuson and Cliff Coral came into our room the year before, right? And so it was part of the history. And so then on the flight back, CC's sitting in the back of the plane. We're sitting in the front of the plane. We have the lights on. We're playing cards.
They have to watch it.
And they had to sit there and watch it, right? And this was back before all the airplane regulations where you could actually walk on the plane and all that. So we're walking around with a trophy, and all that stuff.
Just rubbing their noses in it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not your fault they're on your flight home.
We
you
didn't
know?
make the mistake,
Yeah.
right? But so we ended up flying back with CC, and that was just another great experience. But each one had its own uniqueness.
Oh yeah.
Of victory.
That's incredible. So let's move on. I mean,
we seriously could keep going, right?
oh yeah.
I told you, Beeks. Like,
Oh yeah, totally. I didn't doubt you. So I mean, for time constraints.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Because that's
to,
always been our biggest concern on this
right.
show.
So let's move on to after you graduate, what path did you decide to take after graduation? Like where did your where'd your career start to take you from there?
Yeah, great question, and I will say too, because this will lead into another segment, is we say graduation lightly because I didn't officially graduate until 2019. I went back and finished my degree.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I just officially graduated on paper back in June of 2019.
Nice,
So
congratulations.
thank you. So the path I took was 4 years playing university, but I screwed around because we won the championships, right? And so I screwed around. I didn't go to class that much, and so it prolonged the credits. But anyway, then I chose to play professional, and I wasn't drafted. I signed as a free agent with the Los Angeles Kings, and it was the organization that I grew up watching in Southern California. So that was, to say a dream come true is an understatement.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then got to actually play for them. So I got to play 8 games with the Kings, which was phenomenal. And to be honest, some of it I still can't remember all of it. Because it's just, it was such a blur, right? And it was such an awe moment. And I'm like, oh, dude, I couldn't take it all in. But my first game I got called up where I had to go and meet the team in Dallas. So they were playing the Dallas Stars. So I meet the team there. And it was a Saturday, and then we played in a Sunday afternoon game. So anyway, leading up to the game, see all the guys and, hey, welcome, all that stuff. And I get all the Kings gear, right? They swap out all my Manchester Monarchs, the affiliate AHL stuff, and I'm like, man, this is nuts, right?
Oh yeah.
Wearing a Kings jersey, it's just crazy. And then what made it crazier is Mark Crawford was a coach, and he comes in the room to do the starting lineup, and he looks around and he goes, well, yeah, why not? Let's do it. Coach, you're going to start.
Bull. No way.
Dude, yes. So he goes, Coach, you're starting. Zyler, you're on the wing, and Evenons is on the other wing, right? So Zyler was my buddy that we were playing in Manch together, and then Evenons was the tough guy, the enforcer for the Kings. And so I'm starting lineup. First game, and I'm in Dallas, and I'm starting. And who else do I face? You're like, man, that's unreal. I can't believe you're starting. Well, yeah, I'm also facing off against Mike Modano.
Oh, my God.
Fuck off.
So I'm facing off against Mike Modano, and then you got Yuri Lettinen, and then you got Yossi Jokinen, and then you have Zubov, and then you have Boucher, and you got Turco in net, right?
Jeez.
Good luck, bud.
That was the starting lineup. So
shaking like a dog
Dude,
shitting razor blades
and
or something.
I'm in there, and I'm like, taking the face off, right? So I'm in there like a gritty pit bull, little, and Modano's just sitting there all cool, like, look at this rock,
Just poking his stick in you.
Yeah, he ends up winning the face off just by the little flick of the wrist, right? So he wins the face off, and it goes back to Zubov, and then Zubov to Boucher. Boucher turns it over to Zeiler, turns it over to Zeiler, and I jump into play.
Excellent.
Okay? And now it's a 2-on-1. Me, Ivanons, he gets the puck over to me. I'm at the top of the circles. Put the shoulder down, I fake the shot. Turco goes down. I go to the left, I shoot, I hit the post.
Oh, God.
And goes out. It doesn't go posted in. It goes posted out. And that was 7 seconds. 7 seconds into my first game, first shift.
Wow.
Jeez.
My Lord.
Jesus. Oh my God.
That's
I know.
amazing,
That's
man.
just nuts.
So I always try to ask. So any sweet locker room stories you got? Those 8 games you played? Some dirt you might have with some of those guys? You maybe want to share with us? You gotta ask.
There's dirt.
Remember, they're in a bubble. They can't get to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, all the guys that I know don't play anymore, so that's the thing, right?
They'll just
But,
show up to your house or something.
Well, we'll just say this, that it involves bleaching, okay? And it involves the exit of the body.
Oh, man. Anal bleaching?
Ah, there you go.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
So,
I mean, when they say what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room,
I
I mean,
think
there's
that
a
was
true
probably-
meaning behind
yes,
it.
that
so
is going to go hold true for
that's
that.
all I'll say.
That's
on
the cleanest, dirtiest thing you could have said.
so that's all I gotta say about that.
Oh, man. Anal bleaching. That's
Wow.
that's
a new
an
one.
interesting. Yeah, that's a new one on me. That's for sure.
Right?
Wow. All right.
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, I know
Google
all
that
that.
shit.
Don't do it at home either, kids,
Right.
please.
Yes.
Wipe
sure
your
you wear
browser
gloves.
after that. Wipe your browser after that.
Wear gloves too.
Yeah. Oh, totally. All right. So moving.
And not after Taco Tuesday.
Oh, God.
He went there. We didn't even have to.
Yeah. Normally that's our job. That's pretty nice. We don't have
We
to.
barely opened the door, and he just
Yeah.
kicks that thing in like a police SWAT team.
Oh, that was. Oh man, that's a fucking beauty right
Yes.
there, man.
I like how he was like, I'll just be really subtle about this, and then like 10 seconds later, he's just like,
Setting the stage. Setting the stage
Set
with the
the
bleach.
mood. Yeah.
Oh, then of course I jump in. Oh, anal bleaching? Yeah, bro.
Well, and you say it like it's like, oh yeah, no,
Well, you
That's-
say it like you do it every Saturday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a daily occurrence.
it's not foreign waters to me, so whatever.
I don't do anything. Somebody else might be doing it for me. Sorry, CNAs. Anyway.
you just take it day by
God.
day, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Day
Lord.
by day. By day by day.
All right, I'm gonna try to gather myself enough to ask you a new question here,
Yeah.
boys. Please.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's
take the
unclench a
lead
little
here.
bit
Well,
here.
do you need to get the anthem singer on or what?
Oh my God, I don't know.
I told you, this is gonna be more than one segment.
Oh,
Okay.
clearly, yes, absolutely.
So, where do you guys broadcast at, or where do you?
We Thornton right down in my
in
garage.
the garage.
Yeah,
the basement. Yeah.
yeah, come down to my basement.
Down in the basement
You-
with the
You
anal
need to
bleach
come
kit.
visit the garage one time.
Great, I'll bring the
Yeah.
bleach.
Well, in that case,
We'll let the experienced veterans go first.
Yes.
We'll let the
there's the goal light. There's the goal light.
No, but Beeks, I'm serious, man. We need to have more segments.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I think that's the best time to end right there at anal bleaching. And
I think it is the best time to close it out.
You can't get any higher than that. We have reached the pinnacle of this whole entire thing.
When you're going to clip this, right?
Yeah.
And then you title it anal bleach, like
oh my God.
That should be the segment title.
Oh, in my
time
head, I
with
was already
Gauthier.
like, we get the biggest insights in the league from Gauthier.
Every time I think of LA Kings, I'm going to think of anal bleaching.
Yeah. Well, they've got 2 cups, and they are pretty proficient at anal bleaching.
God, could you imagine what they did with that cup?
It's very
I
clean.
don't. Oh my God.
You can eat right out of it.
Thank you, Phil.
Oh, no.
Good
well,
stuff.
damn it, Gabe, that was awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
thank you.
This was a fun one.
So everybody listening
loved it.
that hopefully is still listening, we'll have part 2 of Gabe Gauthier very soon here. So, Gabe, if you don't mind actually signing our banner here, bud.
Absolutely. Be
Yeah.
honored to do it. Now, Beeks, I'll ask you, what number do you want me to sign it? Do you want me to go number 9, my college number, or 28, my pro number?
What would you rather?
Well, since you're wearing that beautiful DU jersey.
Gotta go 9,
and
baby.
so am I, baby.
Gotta go 9,
Gotta go
baby.
9.
Yep.
That sounds
All right.
good.
Well, guys, let's wrap this one up, or?
Yeah, well, let's get a picture of good old Goats with anal bleaching in mind.
Yeah. There he goes. Draw a bleach bottle next to it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
That wasn't a bleach bottle.
That's what we'll call him.
Oh, man, thank you so much, Gabe. This was too much fun, man.
Thanks again, Beeks. Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, absolutely. Part 2 of Gabe Gauthier's adventures in ice hockey and anal bleaching coming your way soon. Wow, so that's a pretty interesting conversation we just had with Gabe Gauthier.
No joke, man.
I mean, we've learned a lot. I mean, a lot about national championships, and I mean, something I don't think any of us expected, anal bleaching.
Anal bleaching, man, and hopefully we get a part 2 like Gabe mentioned. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we need to talk about it more, but I'm very curious about his Vegas adventures and stuff. I'm hoping for more entertaining stories like the one we had right at the end.
I mean, if his early career was that interesting, I could only imagine what he gets into later. So, yeah, but right now we got Derek Armstrong and his 2 sons, Easton and Dawson, ready to talk to us. So we're going to get them mic'd up and get into that.
Awesome, man. Let's hop over to Derek Armstrong.
Beauty. All right, so we're back with more second period action from the Dawg Bowl. This is On the Bench with Beeks, and I am so honored to have Derek Armstrong from, you guys are obviously going to know him from the LA Kings, New York Islanders, so many other NHL teams. Derek, can you say hi?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Rock and roll.
And we are so lucky to be joined by both his sons, Easton and Dawson. Thank you guys for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
So I just want to start out by saying, I mean, thank you guys for coming and doing this tournament. It's a huge honor to see you guys coming out here, you know, like raising some money for it. Like, how'd you guys get into it with Dawg Nation?
Well, I've known Marty for a long time. Obviously, the game of hockey's been good to my family. Both my boys play. I get to play for a long time. So, in our family, the game is love. You know, we love the sport, and when you can come out and play these games and these charity games and give back to such beautiful people and hardworking people, it's an honor for our family to be here, just as a, you know, and to play with my boys and to play with a lot of the old teammates and to see smiles on people's faces. There's nothing better in life.
Beautiful. What do you boys think, though?
Yeah, it's good to be here. This is our first time playing. We watched our dad play in many years, but it's great to be here. Really fun to play. Yeah.
It's awesome playing with all the NHLers and playing on their team. It's really fun to watch them. Just learn off of them when you're playing.
Yeah, you just got so many of these big old pros out there, and you know, you guys are just so young, and you know, you guys are coming up in the hockey ranks, and like, what do you like? Are you guys? Is this kind of like a learning experience for you guys too?
Yeah, I mean, ton of great players out there. All you have to do is watch, and you learn so much. They just play the game so well, so smart. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's been super good. It's really good to get back into our pace here because we've just been working out in the gym mostly now, but now this is our first time getting back playing better hockey. So.
Well, yeah, well, fuck, man, it's beautiful. I mean, you get a hop back on the ice finally after 3 months of just like uncertainty, just like sitting around on your butts and stuff. Like, well, I mean, I do that all the time, so I can't really judge or anything. But it's got to be feeling really good to be back out on the ice.
Yeah, the best part probably about the COVID, you know, obviously it's been tough on the economy, tough on a lot of people, but my kids introduced me to Netflix. So I didn't believe in Netflix my whole entire life. I used to yell at my kids for watching Netflix, and now they got me watching Netflix, and I'm hooked. So as an older guy, I'm an old school guy, and they've taught me some new stuff. It's been good with my wife and my kids watching Netflix. It's been dynamite.
All right, well, now that you mentioned Netflix, I just gotta give you one recommendation, Norseman. It's a parody of like that show Vikings.
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious, and you guys will love it.
Yeah, the kids got a couple good ones. The boys like a couple girls on a couple of Netflix shows, so you might want. Which ones you guys watch, boys?
Well, one Outer Banks, the Sarah Cameron girl.
Yeah, she's good. Us, what are you watching?
I watch a ton of stuff. I've been watching Trailer Park Boys a lot lately.
Oh, that's
what a show!
Awesome.
What a show!
Yeah, Trailer Park
funny.
Boys is a staple, but
yeah.
I'm watching Kingdom right now, which is a really good one about a UFC guy. So if you like Ballers or Entourage or California Cases along that lines, but it's been enjoyable. I know we've got the last 3 months I got to be in the gym with my boys, getting lifting and hanging out. So it's, you know, as much as the world is in a little bit of chaos right now, I get to spend a lot of great family time with my kids, so I've really enjoyed it.
that's incredible. And speaking of family and hockey, I mean, Derek Armstrong, we know you've had an incredible career playing in LA, playing in a lot of different places in Ottawa, New York. You know, where do you think you really fit in the whole grand scheme of the NHL?
Yeah, I really love playing hockey. Everybody know I play a lot in the minors and I play a lot of junior, but I would probably say LA is my home team. You know, I work for them right now. I do TV for them. I do some hockey development stuff. So we just actually drove back from LA the last 2 days. So we're moving back to Colorado. And fortunately, I still get to work for the LA Kings, so I get to travel. But, you know, it's such a great game. And like I tell my boys and anyone who gets to play, it's an absolute honor to get to play hockey for a living. You know, my whole passion in life besides my family has been the game of hockey. And it's given me a living. So to play at 47 years old with a lot of 20-year-olds and my kids are young and still, you know, trying to hang in there, it's just such a gift, and I cherish every minute of this day.
And I do got to bring it up. You were the CHL Coach of the Year for the Denver Cutthroats.
CHL Coach of the Year, and then last year I won an Emmy for Fox too. So it's been really good, you know.
Oh yeah.
My kids call me Forrest Gump a little bit because I kind of just stumble into stuff. But like I said, I just stumble in and. You know, just being around my boys and my wife, it's such a gift. And like I said, guys like yourself who, you know, you probably don't play, but you love the sport just as much as my mom, you know, and you love the game of hockey, and that's ultimately what it's about. You know, obviously, we're fortunate we get to play at the highest levels for a long time, but to be around you guys like you and to give back to a special cause like Dawg Nation, it truly is a gift for me and my family, and to give back to this great game, we really enjoyed it, and we appreciate you guys too. Thank you.
It's incredibly special, and thank you. And I want to focus on you guys. You guys are blazing quite the hockey careers for yourself. So you guys want to kind of break that down?
Yeah, sure. So I just played my first year of juniors last year in the WSHL for the Utah Outliers, and I'm heading back there this next season to play again. So
beautiful. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Last year I got to play for the Junior Kings 16 AAA team. We actually had a really good team last year. We had a bunch of good players, and we actually had a shot of maybe winning nationals, but unfortunately it got canceled.
Oh yeah.
And also I got called up to play for the Regina Pats last year for 2 games.
Oh, nice.
And then next year I'll be playing there, and hopefully we can have
a
full season.
So I mean, like when you got a dad like Mr. Armstrong over here, like what do you guys like? What do you think he kind of expects from you, and what do you guys want to do to kind of set yourself apart from Derek?
I mean, yeah, he's a great dad. He really just wants us to work hard and enjoy hockey. He's not like things if we don't do great in hockey, we're the worst. He just loves us to work hard and have fun and just do our best, you know. It's awesome to have him as a dad. Great dad.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, really great.
It was definitely always nice watching him when I was growing up,
awesome.
watching him always work. It just helps me model off how I'm supposed to be working, and especially because he's been our trainer the past couple months, and just he's always pushed us, and I wouldn't be where I am without him. So.
Oh, that's fucking incredible, man.
Tears in my eyes.
Oh, no,
I better have a drink of beer after that one.
I'm getting a little bit of the vapors myself. Whew. All right, so let's turn the tables here. But Derek, what do you think about these two fine young men?
I was very fortunate. I've been married 23 years, and I got to play for a long time. So our family was fortunate. Our wife got to stay at home for all those years. We have an amazing wife, and they have an amazing mom as well. They can sit here and praise me all they want, but Mom had to bring them to hockey. Mom had to get breakfast for them. Mom has to pick up after them every day. So, my wife Shannon has a lot to do with this as well. And we're just trying to raise fine young men. We want them to respect the world and, respect the game and respect people they're around. And, that's what our family's all about. We're the Armstrongs. We have lots of energy, but we like to give back to people too as well. We like to make people smile. So when we get on the ice, we're a bit feisty, but we leave that on the ice, and off the ice we just try to be good people.
That's all. That's what it's all about. And I've spent some time cursing you out a couple of times.
Maybe you threw a beer on me too. I probably deserved it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Thank you guys so much for doing this. And clearly, you're raising two incredible boys. And I can't thank you guys so much for coming and playing hockey with us. And we've got a little tradition here on the bench of Beeks. Would you guys be so kind to sign the banner?
Oh, for sure. We'd be honored to, actually. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've got Sharpies somewhere around here.
Whole pile right
we
here.
We got pile. It's like Crayola crayons to them. They don't even know what a Sharpie is. All they do is Snapchat and TikTok.
Yeah, these Sharpies are the things that you like write with. Do you know what write?
Writing sticks. That's crazy.
They didn't know how to text.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, dude, and like I said, thank you for giving back to me, to all these other recipients and everything like that. You have no idea how much it means to us, and we hope to have you guys back more and more. And I'll definitely be looking for you boys here in the next few years.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, and we appreciate all the work you guys do. Like you said, this game, we want to keep growing it and keep growing it the right way, and keep growing fine people playing it. It's a respectful game, and guys like you keep growing the game and getting good people on here and supporting this great game. We really appreciate you. So it's an honor for us three to be on here too as well. Thank you.
I mean,
that's awesome.
Damn, I'm gonna start crying again.
That's all right.
All right, so
I have that effect.
All right, boys. Let's if we could get a couple shots of you guys signing.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
It was quite
Thank
an
you.
honor, man.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers,
Awesome.
boys. So that's it for period 2 action at the Dawg Bowl 10, Keats. I think we learned a lot of stuff, and I think our next episode is going to be even better. What do you think?
No, absolutely, man. It was so cool to sit down with a couple of pros and talk about their careers and some funny stories. Derek was hilarious, man. Such a dad.
Oh, absolutely.
Is tripping his kids with TikToks and Snapchats. I thought that was pretty funny. And but yeah, man, I enjoyed it very much. But yes, Cody, I agree with you. Period 3 is going to be very special, and I think it's going to be a very, very nice ending to this tournament itself and our 3-period interviews.
Oh, absolutely. So once again, a huge thank you to Dawg Nation for letting us be out here. A huge thank you to My Beer Nation as per usual, and thank you guys, the listeners, for sticking with us and listening to us chat hockey. So in the meantime, that's it for us. So vi hörs. Tusen tack.
We'll see you next time, guys.
See ya.